This whale in New York City represents a crafty kind of graffiti that's popping up in all sorts of unlikely places. The emerging works of art have the ability to change the appearance of cities and landscapes. Critics of graffiti in general might call it vandalism, but admirers call this street art. Michelle Miller shows us a fuzzier art form called yarn bombing that's being stitched across the world.
With crochet hook in hand, London Kay looks very much at peace.
You're going to wrap this piece of yarn behind the hook into the front.
So at peace, it's contagious.
I'm kind of getting into this.
You're doing really well.
What drew you to it?
I have loved crochet ever since I started crocheting, and I learned when I was 13, and it was kind of a way for me to just sit and be with myself and take a moment.
But at heart, she's a renegade artist, a yarn bomber.
Define?
I guess the best way to define it is when you take a piece of knit or crochet and you wrap it around something outside. So you're bringing like a touch of warmth into like an urban environment.
Kay brings the art to the age-old craft of crocheting, street art, where traditionally walls and fences have been the canvas for graffiti artists.
We have graffiti, and then we have
Crochet!
yarn bombing.
Yes, this pipe I have been replacing the crochet for, I want to say, over a year now. After a little while, people will end up taking it and I just go back and replace it. So I've gotten pretty creative with these water pipes, but this is one of my favorites yet.
Kay's work ranges from whimsical to subversive. She once yarn bombed a cliff in Italy.
I love that I'm doing something that's so clearly a feminine craft and putting it out there on the street with anybody else who's doing it. Street art's definitely done by mainly men, and I like to be able to bring that female perspective into the whole thing. And I love like being on the subway and like a guy will come up to me and be like, hey, you're that girl that yarn bombs. It's like, what? You've been following the crochet too? That's a good sign.
Yarn bombing is part of a rebirth for crocheting and knitting. It's not just about scarves and sweaters and hats, but pictures and sculptures as well.
People started knitting and crocheting and then thought artistically about what they could do to self-express using this, and so took it to an extreme level.
Tricia Malcolm, editorial director for Vogue Knitting magazine, says these are exciting times for yarn heads.
And how global is this?
Oh, hugely global. In Rouen in France recently, a group got together and knitted squares and recreated a 20-foot tall Monet painting.
Kay's work has caught the eye of corporate America too. She's done installations from Starbucks to Miller Beer, putting up a low-tech billboard in neon-infested Times Square. But she's experienced pushback too, like when she hung this mural for a flea market on a building whose owners had not granted permission.
I want it to be something that is going to bring about good feelings, and this did not, and it really affected me. I brought the chain link fence inside.
It's feedback she says has made her more conscious about how her work affects people. She says that's made her a better artist.
Safe to say you're hooked.
I am hooked. I am, and I love crocheting so much, so this is truly a dream.
For CBS This Morning, Michelle Miller, New York.
Nice of her to finish that. I mean, it's a different kind of graffiti that I think is great. Charlie, London Kay was thinking about you. She knows your love of Under Armour tennis shoes. Look at the eye.
Oh, my goodness.
She sent this over for you this morning.
Oh, my God. Can I show them?
Yes, please.
Look at
Oh
this.
my God, that's amazing.
Is that
No, but turn to the
fantastic?
back. Wow.
Like that? Oh, look at that eye.
She knew you didn't have a pair of those. Very nice.
Oh, I will wear these if they fit, for sure.
Oh, no, they're your size.
Okay,
What's your size?
13.
They're 13.
All right.
They're
Thank
13.
you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, London
That is
Kay.
so
Very
cool. Very, very
Oh,
cool.
boy, look at this.
All right, here's some
Can't wait
yarn
to see
bombing.
what he has on his feet tomorrow. You're watching CBS This Morning. We'll be right back.
Your guess is good.
Yeah.